have you join me this morning for our floor asana practice. And then we are going to, instead of having our normal Savasana relaxation, I'm going to guide you into a Samadhi meditation. So we'll be going really deep into our expanded awareness. And the best thing to do to prepare for a Samadhi experience, it's the 8th limb of Patanjali's 8 limbs of yoga, is a little bit of asana. And let's begin. And I invite you to, as I go through the practice, if you ever need to move into relaxation pose, please do so. Honor your body, yourself. And if you ever enter into pain, always back off. Yoga, we always stay in the feel so good range in our bodies. So finding a really nice, comfortable seat for yourself, feeling those sits bones connected to the earth, feeling your body supported by the earth. And allowing your body to relax into the earth and let go of the tensions and relax the shoulders down, closing the eyes and breathing into that lower abdomen, that belly. Beginning to enter into some mindful belly breaths. Breathing deep into the lower abdomen. And just like if you poured water into an empty glass, we are going to inhale, and that prana and life force and oxygen is going to drop down to the very bottom into our pelvic floor and our lower abdomen. And this triggers our parasympathetic nervous system, the relaxation response in our body. So we can move out of the stress and into a more peaceful state within our body. And as you continue to breathe into that lower abdomen, I invite you to just check inside, do a scan the inner being. Noticing pratyahara, the inner sensations, the aliveness, the vibrations, what's going on inside you energetically. Bring all your awareness within. Turning the awareness away from the external and going in, being absorbed by this inner aliveness within you. You may feel your heartbeat. And dive into the emotional body. This is what's going on in that emotional field within you. Not judging or describing the emotions, just staying in that felt sense, basking in, feeling fully all that is there for you. Emotions cannot hurt you. Just bring them on. Continuing to breathe into the belly. And I invite you now to set an intention for yourself, for this practice, for this day, for this year, whatever works for you. Set that intention and plant that seed into your fertile consciousness of your mind. Always creating an intention in the positive, in the present moment. And let's begin our three-part yogic breath. So breathing into that belly and like a wave into the ribs and the chest. Pausing at the top, and then my favorite, just letting it go. Inhaling into the belly, ribs, and the chest. Pausing at the top of the breath for just a moment. You can engage the bandha as you pause, and then exhale, letting it go. Continuing a few more three-part yogic breaths on your own at your own pace. And letting that breath go. Gently opening your eyes. Let's begin with some neck rolls gently, nice and slow, feeling the sensation in your neck as you move that around and noticing if there's any spot that needs a little extra attention. Just massaging that area. Continuing to breathe into that belly. You can slightly engage those bandhas, especially that mula bandha, as you breathe and move in the body. And allowing yourself the permission to really enjoy the sensations as you're moving in the body. Bringing all our attention to the body this morning, this asana practice and all those sensations as we continue to more and more deeply, fully embody in this sacred body temple. Where the awareness, our conscious awareness, the extension of divine source animates through the living temple. Knowing our body as a living temple, sacred living temple of the divine awareness. That which is aware within us is a pure extension from divine awareness, knowing how sacred we are. And let's go the other direction with our neck. Remembering to feel free to stop and massage any area that needs a little extra attention. Fully absorbed in the sensations. And coming back to center. Beautiful job. Let's move into a little cat-cow. Picking up that spine. Rounding the back in your cat as you exhale. And arching that back and opening the shoulders and the chest. Lifting the head a little in your cow. Flexion and extension of the spine. I invite you to use the Ujjayi breath at all throughout this practice. Inner focus, The mind begins to wander a little bit. Our main focus is sensations in the body. So the more we bring our attention to the body, the more we embody, the more we create this sacred embodiment. I love the Ujjayi breath. I learned it back in the early 80s at Kripalu Center, and it became quite a very, almost an addiction for a while. I just loved the Ujjayi breath. And coming back to center, let's go into a little twist. Take the right hand on the left leg, left hand behind the buttocks, and just inhale, lengthening the spine, and exhale, twisting. And the next inhale, lengthening again, and on your exhale, twist. One more breath. Lengthen on the inhale, and exhale, twist. And coming back, a little counter pose to the side. And let's take that left hand to the right knee, right hand behind the buttocks, and inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, twist. And if you can go a little further with each twist. And releasing back. Beautiful job. Let's bring those feet together in our Baddha Konasana. And we can flap those indie wings a little bit. Just opening up the hips. This just feels good. And I invite you to slow down those legs and take those knees and legs and bring them toward the floor. Wherever you get to is fine. Honor your body. Everyone's body is very different. And holding on to the feet in front of you, we're going to inhale, lengthen. And we're going to exhale, folding forward at the hips. This is hip opener. So feeling that nice opening at the hips. And continuing to fold forward to you. Meet that edge, that feels so good edge. And then holding it here, and let's breathe a couple breaths. Now see if you can hinge a little deeper in your hips, a little further forward in your hips. And find that second edge, and then taking another couple breaths. Beautiful. And hinging up. Very good job. Let's take those feet out and flop them. Bring the energy into our legs. As we do our yoga, we bring our attention and our energy into our body. Notice some muscles that have never been stretched before, or not for a little while maybe not throughout the day, not in our normal activities. And so we bring more embodiment into our body. We become more fully present here now in our bodies. And then we can serve higher in this physical incarnation as our infinite divine soul power animates through this living temple, this sacred living temple. The more we're embodied, the more we can be of service. And our service is that which brings us our greatest joy. So the more we can be in our joy and extending our love, which is our purpose, is to extend our love and to be joyful in that extending of our love. So let's come up onto our knees. We're going to move into Camel. Moving into Camel. It's a little chilly here this morning, and I forgot to turn on the heat. I didn't have anyone to come and turn it on for me, so I, in my sweatshirt, my socks, staying nice and warm. So we're going to come up onto our knees, and we're going to bring our hands onto the small of our back, here on the lumbar spine here, to the side, right around below the ribs. And we're going to tuck that tailbone under to open up those spinal processes. And then hinging the hips forward, opening up the chest, squeezing the scapula together, those wing bones, looking up towards the sky. We're not going to drop the head, just gazing up towards the sky in our camel. And this may be where your back bend is. This is a really great back bend stretch right here. If you'd like to challenge yourself, you can come up onto your toes and come down, bringing the hands down to the heels. And then after you bring your hands down to the heels, if you're going to do this, open up the chest and then move those hips back over the knees and breathe. One more breath. Beautiful. And bringing the hands back to the low back. And let's move right into our child's pose. Opening up those knees a little and allowing the belly to come in, arms alongside, head down on the mat. Taking a few breaths here and allowing this to be a time where you can be with yourself. Go inward. Child's pose is an inward intention. And on your next inhale, coming up, lifting up. And let's bring those legs out in front. Let's move into single leg forward fold first, bending that right knee so the right foot's resting on the inner thigh of the left. We're going to inhale as we lengthen the body and then exhale, hinging forward. So we're going to begin by keeping that spine nice and straight. You can flex that extended foot for more sensation. And then getting to that place of your edge. You don't want to force, we don't want to snap any muscles or pull or strain anything. We just rest on that feel so good edge, like a 7 rather than a 10 or a 3. And resting on that edge for a minute, you can bring the hands down to the mat and just taking a couple breaths on your edge. Engage those bandhas. And then let's see if we can hinge a little deeper in that hip. Find a little deeper edge for ourselves. And once you find that edge, allow the spine to round. You can bring the hands down to the leg or the mat. Bringing the head in towards the knee and just taking a couple breaths here in this nice deep forward fold. And you can flex and extend that extended foot for some more sensation. Dive into the sensations within your body. Bringing all your attention to this extended leg, becoming embodied in this leg. Becoming friendly with this leg. Taking a moment to acknowledge this left leg and how it serves you all throughout the day and night. Getting to know this left leg a little more intimately. And taking a moment now to lift up and just massage the foot, the leg. Knowing as you're massaging your foot, you're massaging a sacred body temple, a living temple. Your sacred awareness, your divine awareness is animating through. It's the living temple for your awareness, pure extension from divine awareness, which extends through and animates through all things. Just acknowledging how holy you are. Every aspect of your being. As you have this physical experience as an eternal being, having this temporary physical experience. The body will come and the body will go, but the eternal awareness that is you remains forever. Inhaling up, beautiful job. And let's switch legs. So taking the right leg out straight, bending that left leg in, resting the left foot on the inner thigh of the right leg. Inhaling as you lengthen and exhaling, folding forward. Feeling a nice stretch on that right leg now. Noticing all those beautiful sensations. And keeping the spine straight right now. Let's find that edge on this side and taking a couple deep breaths here. Playing the edge. Putting forth a little bit of effort to open up the body a little more every day. Feel that foot flexed or flex and extend. And now see if you can hinge a little deeper in that hip joint. Still keeping that spine straight. And when you find that edge there, again, allow the spine to round. Bring the hands down to the leg, the mat, head in towards the knee. And bringing your awareness to this right leg now. Bringing all your attention to the right leg. We gave the left leg attention. We got to give the right leg equal attention. Knowing this is also a sacred embodiment. Keeping that breath flowing. Mula Bandha especially slightly engaged. So as we breathe, seal in that energy for the benefit of our own sacred body temple. Enjoying sensation, you can massage that leg. It's really acknowledging that you are massaging this temple of the divine, your divine awareness. That which is within you that is aware is divine. Extends directly from divine creator source of all that is. This is power that dwells within you. Just massaging that leg a little, bringing some attention to it, maybe even the knee. Feeling what the leg is asking for, it needs today. Feels good. Enjoying being embodied. Acknowledging the sacredness of your physical body. Ecstatic yoga is sacred embodiment. Keeping that breath flowing. And let's come up now. Beautiful job. And let's bring those legs out wide. Let's come over to our left legs, facing our left leg. So we're going to twist the body a little bit so that the torso is twisting a little so that we're facing that left foot. We're going to inhale as we lengthen the spine up towards the sky, the crown, and then exhale, hinging forward towards that left foot. And allowing the spine to round and just coming down wherever you can, moving into a nice little forward fold with the legs wide. Noticing the different sensations here, a little more in the inner thigh. Just allowing yourself to bask in sensations. You can flex and extend that left foot. And then coming up. And we're going to go over to the other side. So let's twist so we're facing that right foot, that right leg. And inhale, lengthening the spine. Feel the crown reaching up towards the sky. And then exhale, hinging at the hip. Hinging till you get to your edge. And once you hit your edge, allowing that spine to round. Bringing your head in towards the knee. And flex and extend that right leg. Just bask here, noticing sensations. Enjoying the sensations. This is your sacred body temple, the living temple of your awareness, your soul, your divine conscious awareness animates through. And then coming up. Beautiful job. Let's bring those legs together. And we're going to bring the feet in together. And we're going to move into balancing bear, but we're just going to do one leg at a time first, and then we will do both legs. So let's take that left leg out, bringing the hand around the outside of the left foot, bending that left knee, and then extending and seeing how much you can straighten that left leg, and you can extend it out. Just feeling the sensation. The right leg is resting on the mat to keep you stable. Just feeling the sensations and the stretch of this. Opening up this leg. You can move it around a little bit to create new sensations. Keeping that breath flowing. And then releasing that leg down. We'll go over to the right. Bringing that right hand around the outside of the right foot. And extending that foot, opening it up as much as you can, honoring where your body's at. Opening it up with the hips. You can a little. Playing with it. Noticing sensations. And breathing. And coming down. And now if you'd like to go into a full balancing bear, you can lift both heels off the floor. Both hands are around the outside of the foot. And we're going to open up both legs at the same time, balancing on our sacrum, our sits bones. And if this is too much for you, just continue doing one side at a time. And as you open up the legs, keeping them as straight as you can, not locking them. And if they're bent, that's okay too. Wherever you're at is perfect. Finding a spot you can gaze at and breathe. One more breath. Balancing bear and bringing those legs down. Beautiful job. Now we're going to move into our boat. So we're going to stay balanced on that sacrum, flat on the floor. That's our balancing point. These are balances. Balanced on that sacrum. And let's go into half boat first. And then I invite you, if you'd like to challenge yourself into full boat, you can do that. If not, just staying into half boat. Or you can just lift the heels. So let's just start with just lifting the heels and see if you can balance there. And if you can move up into half boat, you can bring those feet so the shins are parallel to the floor and the hands are holding behind the knees here at the hamstrings. And then inviting yourself, if you'd like to try, this is something that takes time. I used to really shake when I first began this. So just be patient with yourself, extending those legs out, extending back a little, and the arms on the side into your boat. Find that drishti, that point that's not moving, and breathe. Still do shake them. And then coming back into your half boat, bring those hands behind the knees, And then relaxing those legs down. Beautiful job, beautiful job. And let's come up to the front of the mat. We're going to move into our spinal rocks. So just rocking back, making sure you have plenty of padding underneath you for this. If not, just coming slowly down so you're resting on your back. Feeling that nice massage on the kidneys, those spinal muscles. And eventually coming so you're laying flat on your back. And let's begin with with a nice hip opener. Let's take that left foot. Both knees are up. Both feet are flat on the floor. And we're going to lift that left foot up and we're going to rest that left foot and ankle right onto the right knee, right above the knee, on the very bottom of the quadricep. And we almost make like a 4. Our leg was extended up. And we're going to bend that right leg, lift that right foot off the mat, and clasp the hands behind the right leg, right on the hamstring there. And then gently bringing that right leg in towards the body. And again, finding your edge. Your hip will tell you this is a nice hip opener. So find that beautiful edge. And then once you got that edge, holding it there and taking a few breaths. And after a breath, you might notice you can bring that right leg in a little closer. Always playing your edge. Opening up those hips. And releasing that right leg down. We're going to switch legs. So bringing the left foot flat on the mat, left knee is up. Taking that right foot and ankle and resting it right on the left knee and quadricep. And then lifting that left leg up, bringing the hands so they're clasped behind the left leg. And beginning to pull that left leg in towards the body. Feeling a nice opening of the hip on the right side. And finding your edge, gently pulling the leg into the body, finding that edge. And once you find that edge, breathing into it. Engage those bandhas. You can use your Jaya breath. Seeing if you can pull the leg in just a little more, opening the hip, playing that edge, never forcing. Gentle opening. And releasing the leg down. Beautiful job. Beautiful job. Both feet flat on the mat. Knees are up. The feet are about hip width apart. We're going to move into our bridge, a nice little back bend for today. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into our half bridge. We're going to press into the feet, lifting the hips up, and just feeling those nice sensations of those hips floating, using our own strength to hold that up. And then nice and slowly, one vertebrae at a time, coming down. And allowing the sacrum and the tailbone to relax. And then pressing into the feet and lifting those hips halfway up again. And just suspending here, feeling gravity, gently wanting to bring those hips down in our muscular engagement and holding those hips up. Very Not a lot of effort, but enough to feel it and to notice it, to feel this sensation. And the pelvis never get to really feel this sensation very often. Breathing into the belly. And on your next heel, coming down one vertebrae at a time from the upper thoracic all the way down to the lower thoracic, and then the lumbar, and then feeling the sacrum and the tailbone release and relax. And this time we're going to come all the way up into our full bridge. So we're going to make sure that those knees, we're going to pretend that they're almost holding a block in between them. I think I'll do that this time. If you want to do that, you can do that too. Can take the block and put it right between the knees, just to train the knees not to flop out while you're in your bridge. Just put a block between your knees, add a little extra challenge too. And on your next inhale, pressing into the feet, lifting those hips, arching the back up, coming up onto the shoulders. See if you can clasp those hands underneath you as you arch the back up into a full bridge. And let's breathe here. Engage those bandhas and breathe. Beautiful. And releasing the hands, releasing the shoulders, coming back down one vertebrae at a time. Beautiful job. You can release that block between your knees, and let's bring those knees into the chest and hug those knees. You can rock back and forth for a nice little counter pose. Beautiful job. And we're going to extend those legs straight up. Let's just pull those legs in towards our body. And a nice stretch on the legs. Engaging the bandhas and breathe. Just pulling them towards the body. Noticing the beautiful sensations, the feel so good sensations. And just relax them up. And flex those feet. And I invite you, if you'd like to move into half shoulder stand, you can. If you want to just keep this as your inversion, that works too. Half shoulder stand. We're going to lift those hips up. Bring the hands to the small of the back. Feet are coming up towards the sky. And engage those bandhas and breathe. Nice vacation on the veins. They don't have to work hard to pump that blood up the legs to the heart. Now, if you'd like to hinge into plow, you can do that. And finding a place here. Your feet may or may not hit the floor, but the most important thing is to keep this low back protected. Sometimes it's better. I used to bring the feet down to the floor, and I found out this is better for my lower back. Just stay, keep the legs parallel to the floor. And taking those legs now gently in towards the body, curling up like a little ball, bringing the hands down to the mat and rolling down nice and slowly. Extending those legs out. Both legs flat down on the mat. We're going to move into our fish pose. So our hands are flat on the mat, face down. The palms are face down. We're going to bring a hand underneath each buttocks. And then bring those elbows and forearms, scoot them snug up to the body. And we're going to press into the elbows as we lift the chest and the head up off the mat. And then gently coming down, allowing the crown of the head to rest onto the mat. The upper thoracic vertebrae are arched. This is a back bend for the upper back. And engage those bandhas and breathe. Use that Ujjayi breath if you like. And on your next inhale, lifting that head up off the mat, straightening out nice and gently coming back down onto the floor. And let's release those hands from underneath the buttocks. And let's bring those knees into the chest. And rocking back and forth. Releasing and relaxing that lower back. And let's keep that right knee tucked into the body, and let's extend the left leg out. Go into our knee to chest. So single knee to chest. So we're going to open up that right hip a little so that the right knee is coming in towards the armpit to protect the ribs. We don't want to crunch those ribs. So we're going to be gently bringing and pulling that right knee in towards the right armpit. And then the left leg, the extended leg, is going to be pressing down towards the earth. So you'll feel two simultaneous lines of energy. And engage those bandhas and breathe. One more breath. And releasing the leg. And let's switch legs. Take that right leg straight out in front, resting on the earth, the mat. Taking that left knee, tucking it in towards the body, in towards the armpit, opening up the leg, bringing it gently in towards the armpit. And the right extended leg is pressing down towards the earth. So feeling two lines of energy simultaneously, engaging those bandhas, and let's breathe. And releasing that left leg. Let's keep that right leg extended out. Left leg, the knee is up, left foot is on the mat. And let's bring the hips back to center for a moment. And then let's come up onto this right side, just about an inch. And then bring that left knee. We're going to move into supine spinal twist. So taking that left knee, bending it and bringing it over to the right. Right hand on the left knee, guiding it over. And then taking that left arm and extending it straight out 90 degrees and turning the head to gaze out over the left fingertips. In this nice, deep spinal twist, you can engage those bandhas and bring in the prana and the breath. Noticing sensations. Fully engaged in that expanding energy field within you. And one more breath here. And releasing the knee, coming back so that you're flat on your back. And we're going to switch legs. We're going to take that right foot, knee up onto the mat, and then we're going to extend the left leg straight out. So right knee is up, right foot's on the mat. And let's first take those hips and move over to the left side, just about an inch, to keep that lumbar spine neutral as we twist. Taking the right knee now and bringing that over to the left. Left hand on the right knee, guiding that gently over to the left to find our edge there. Right arm is extended out 90 degrees and turning the head to gaze out over the right fingertips. And relaxing into this nice deep spinal twist. Gauging those bandhas and bringing in the breath. You can use your Jaya breath if you like. One more breath here. And releasing the leg, coming back to center. And let's bring both knees into the chest, rocking back and forth for a nice little counter pose, releasing that low back. Beautiful job. Let's bring those feet together in a little Baddha Konasana upside down pose. And as we move into our happy baby, let's open up those legs, aligning the feet are, the bottoms of the feet are facing the sky, knees are out wide, coming out towards the armpits. And then let's the hands on the outside of the feet, and then take a nice gentle pull of the knees down towards the armpits. This is another beautiful hip opener. Feeling that gentle hip opener here. Happy baby. I invite you to rock back and forth in this. Continuing to pull the knees down towards the armpits as you rock back and forth. Just enjoying the sensations, always on the feel so good edge. And then releasing that pull and allowing the legs, yourself to just kick around in happy baby, Ananda Balasana, moving the body around. And if there's any posture or pose that you were really wanting the body was craving, allowing yourself to do that now, or just playing around in your happy baby for a couple breaths here before we move into our releases. And then we're going to be going into a nice extended samadhi, deep expanded awareness. Fully present to the body and the sensations. Really enjoying these sensations and being present in the body. This is your sacred body temple. And then eventually bringing those feet down onto the mat. Knees are up. Feet are hip width apart. And we're going to move into our releases. And we always begin with our hula because that's so much fun. Sacrum is flat on the mat. Nothing lifts off the mat. And we're going to drop one hip down towards the heel. Opposite hip is coming up towards the armpit. And we're going to swivel to the other side. So the opposite hip is coming up towards the armpit and the other dropping down towards the heel. The flat on your back, sacrum's flat on the mat. Just swiveling those hips side to side. One hip at a time coming up towards the armpit, opposite dropping down. Feeling all those sensations in the pelvic area, the hips. Nice, slow, repetitive movements. You can engage those bandhas gently and breathe. You can bring that Ujjayi breath in here. Fully present to the body and the sensations. Finding your pace. Coming back to center, we're going to move into hip pointers. So we're going to take that left hip first and let's point it up towards the sky, lifting that left butt cheek up just a little. Right butt cheek and hip are rooted into the mat. And then releasing down. And going to the other side, making sure the left hip is rooted into the earth, and we're going to point that right hip up towards the sky, lifting that right butt cheek a little bit off the mat. And going back and forth in hip pointers, noticing the sensations in this gentle release, keeping the breath flowing. Nice, slow, repetitive movements, fully present to sensations. And coming back to center, and we're going to move into cat, cow on the mat. So as we move into cat, we're going to tuck the tailbone under, pressing the small of the back into the earth. Exhaling in our cat, inhaling in our cow as we arch that lumbar spine off the mat. Tailbone is sticking into the mat. Doing that extension of the spine and moving back and forth into flexion and extension, cat and cow. Doing that small of the back pressing in and then extending up. Finding your pace. Engaging those bandhas gently and breathing. And coming back to center, let's drop both knees over to one side And either lifting that top knee up and bringing it over, allowing the other knee to join it. Or you can just windshield wiper those legs side to side, nice, slow, repetitive movements here. Keeping that breath flowing, bringing the awareness to the sensation in the body. And coming back up to center. And we're going to keep those knees up. We're just going to start to move those feet further away from each other until they get to the wide edges of the mat. Knees are up. And let's drop one knee at a time in towards the center for a single knee drop. Finding your edge here, nice and gentle, not forcing. Another nice little hip opener. Different sensations. Releasing gently this entire pelvic area, low back, the hips, the pelvis. Keeping that breath flowing. Prana moving through your body. Breathing into the belly. The final movement for our body. And coming back to center, bring those feet up and let's just tuck those knees into the chest. Our final release. And rock back and forth a little bit, just releasing and relaxing any last little bits of tension in the body before we move into our deeper Savasana, a Samadhi. This is going to be a 30-minute Savasana. So I invite you now to get into your cozy nest, stretching those legs out. You can put something under your knees, a little bolster. You can get a blanket underneath you, or you can put a blanket under your knees. You can get a blanket around you to keep yourself warm, staying on your back. I'm going to sit up because I'm going to stay alert so I don't fall asleep. I want you to relax nice and deeply and get very comfortable into your Samadhi nest. Do what you need to do. Maybe put a jacket on, your socks on, a little blanket under your knees, an eye pillow on your eyes if you like. If you want to put something under your head, have it be a nice flat pillow, so keeping your neck as neutral as possible. You might want a very gentle little roll something very small up underneath your neck. Getting yourself as comfortable as you can and stretching that body out a little bit and just making any last little micro movements you might need to get your body really comfortable in your Samadhi nest. Keeping your body comfortable and beginning to bring your awareness to the physical body, allowing it to relax even deeper. Feeling those muscles releasing all tension. All the effort is done. It is only time now to relax completely. Any little muscular holding can just be released. Feeling the body become heavier and sinking a little deeper into the earth. I like to use the analogy of the body as a sack of potatoes. Feeling the body even sinking into the earth, like when you're at the beach and your body sinks deep down into the earth. Connecting with the earth. Feeling that support, the earth will hold you. Gravity will keep you snug in onto the planet. Your body is safe, secure. Comfortable. All the systems, even the nervous system and the brain, are relaxed, deeply relaxed, safe, secure. Taking a gentle breath into the belly. So move from the Annamaya Kosha, the physical body kosha, into the Pranamaya Kosha. And gentle breaths into the belly, nice and slowly. Feeling that prana moving around our body, in our body and through our body. All the chakra systems, spinning discs, spinning, vibrating, flowing. All the pranavayus, commanding the energies up and down and through and around our body, naturally, without our conscious effort. That intelligence knows what to do. All the meridians throughout the entire body. The divine intelligence, without our even consciously knowing, flowing through and moving the energies exactly the way they need to go. And all those nadis, 72,000 or 350,000, some may say. Those main nadis, the Ida and the Pingala, feminine and the masculine, spiraling up the spine, base of the spine, the nostrils, keeping our body alive energetically, and charging that Sushumna Nadi, that great river, surges from the tailbone up through the core, central core, around the spinal column, through the center of the body, out through the crown of the head. That great river. These energy systems that sustain the physical body, that come before the physical body, that even continue to be sustained after the physical body passes. This is our pranamaya kosha, our subtle body. And moving now into our manamaya kosha, the mental and emotional bodies. Allowing the mind to rest in just awareness. So we take a moment to bask in the emotional body. Just noticing what is there for us with compassion and love. No judgment. Just fully present to the emotions that are surging through our emotional body. Always remembering that our thoughts and our emotions, even our physical body, are not us, not that eternal self. We are that awareness that is aware of a body, aware of a thought, aware of an emotion. Just noticing the emotions and allowing them to arise with love and compassion, attention, just as you would a young child that had emotions coming up. You'd be present to them, allowing them to feel fully with whatever they're feeling with no judgment, never judging them for feeling what they feel. Allowing them that safe space to simply feel what comes up and rises so it can be released, and passed through. Allowing that same compassion for yourself, your inner child. As we rest in this Manomaya kosha, noticing the thoughts that pass through, noticing from an observer space, a neutral witness, noticing the thoughts, noticing where our antenna, what thought sphere is our antenna tuned into. We're not our thoughts. Thoughts are out there. Many, many channels of thought are out there. And we are empowered fully to choose the thought sphere, the channel of thought we want to tune into, knowing how powerful thought is. And the channel we turn into will outpicture in our physical realities, so we can be very mindful, empowered, and conscious. If there's thoughts we don't want to out-manifest and create in our lives, we can move that antenna and consciously move our thoughts into a sphere that is based in love, based in light, based in thoughts that inspire you. Oneness and peace, gratitude. See how high you can bring that thought sphere, that antenna, into a high vibrational thought sphere. Gratitude and love and joy being the highest vibrational frequencies we can hold. Allow yourself as an empowered consciousness to choose a high vibrational frequency to tune your antenna into. When you tune into gratitude, simply repeat thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And even if you're not feeling gratitude yet, after a little while of repeating thank you, you begin to feel the vibrational frequency of gratitude. Well, I love you, I love you, I love you. Thinking about someone you love very intensely, or even an animal, or a piece of music, or a property that brings you joy, activity. Basking in the highest possible vibrational frequency you can in this moment. Being gentle with yourself. We would begin to move into the Vijmanamaya Kosha. The wisdom body. Allowing a release of the thinking, even those high vibrational thoughts, and just allow the mind and the intelligence to rest in pure awareness. That blank canvas, it is your pure conscious awareness. An ever-expanding sky that allows the clouds of thought and emotion in mind and body to arise. Pure blank canvas of your conscious awareness infinitely expanding beneath all the thoughts, the actual entity that allows thoughts and emotions and bodies to arise and fall. Basking in this part of yourself that is eternal, unchanging, ever present. Thoughts and emotions, bodies may come and go, but this part of you that is simply aware is always present, unchanging, permanent, eternal. Resting in pure awareness as you allow the body in its own time to enter into Samadhi. That silent stillness within you. Where you become everything. Yet no one thing in particular. You are everywhere, nowhere. Everything, nothing. Simply pure expanded awareness. Touching into that absolute stillness within you. The eternal inner silence that is your true nature. Everything, everywhere. Absolute inner silence and stillness that allows sounds to arise. Permanent silence allows the ever-changing sounds to come and go. Pure conscious awareness. Everything, nothing. Everything, nothing. Absolute presence. Absolute stillness. Pure, silent, still, conscious awareness. ever expanding bliss. Beginning to breathe into the belly as you gently and kindly move your awareness from Samadhi to the Vishmanamaya Kosha, the wisdom body, to the Manamaya Kosha, emotional, mental body. Witnessing the emotions and thoughts, knowing clearly you are not the thoughts, not the emotions. Taking some deep belly breaths. To move into your prana body. Beginning to move into the physical body, feeling the earth underneath you, supporting your body. Wiggling the fingers and the toes, stretching out the arms and legs. And rolling over to one side. When you're ready, gently and kindly coming up to seated position and receiving these vibrations of the drum. And taking this time now to bring yourself back to that intention that you set at the beginning of practice. And go within and scan the body again. Pratyahara, noticing the inner aliveness within you, the inner spaciousness. Noticing the emotional body. Maybe if there's a little shift or change from the beginning of practice. Honoring wherever you're at in this moment with pure love and unconditional acceptance and love. And we will conclude our practice with Namaste. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is of love, light, truth, and peace. When you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, we are one. Namaste. I embrace with ecstatic yoga. You can go to EcstaticYoga.Studio to find out more information for our yoga retreats and our yoga teacher trainings. We are in our spring training right now, and our registration for fall will be opening up soon. Hope you can join us. Wishing you a beautiful and blessed day.